Yes, my wonderful people, welcome to J Progress Entertainment again. And my people, right now, me have a story from a British woman. We come like the lady and listen to my story them on my channel, and I say J Progress. Sometimes I hear some story how the English woman them treat the man them. But you not really get sometime how the man them treat the English woman them. And my people, me say the way how me get the story. Me want give it directly from the perspective of the person. Cause a whole heap of information in it. And as big as me head be, I can't remember all of this because it's all in writing. So me say, me I go bring it forward to a different type of way, me people. Because the woman I make it clear, say some of them man too, them are all dirty dog and drunk. Not because sometimes them go to England and you see the woman did them a certain way. It's because of all them dirty ways where they have and no one change. So my people, without further ado, make we jump into the story then, my people. I want to follow me on that one here because me I go try to read. Understand? He say, I am a British woman who had 2 teenage daughters. I was a full-time student at university with a part-time job. I was never really into the black British men as I feel they are far from their roots and lost culturally. One day if you are one Rasta lady, I had recently ended a relationship with a British-born man who was raised in Jamaica, who knew his culture. So this woman here is very strong on our cultural things them, so you have to have that little moral about you when it come on to Jamaica culture. You have to strong on your culture, you understand? Anyway, she further move on and say, my stepbrother who lived in Jamaica had passed away and my stepmother and I traveled to bury him. On this trip, I visited my biological sibling while I was there and I met a young man. Yeah, so things start now, you know. Because from your guy yard and go pan chip and go pan man, you now fi hacks. What go happen then, me people? Right? I flew back to England and we did not keep in contact. That enough long. A year later, my maternal grandmother passed away and I flew back for her funeral. While there, I saw this young man again and this time, it was clear there was a spark between us. Butterfly a fly in a chest plate, you know, me people. Yes, man. This time we exchanged detail and we kept in contact and spoke for about 6 months. And yes or no, you know. You stir up the pot and make the gravy start get thick up now, you know. Because you have to prepare yourself now for what will happen. I went back to Jamaica to see him once more, and during this trip, we talked about him coming to England to start a relationship. As long distance relationship was not for us. I traveled back home and started the process of bringing this man to England. I was about 31 at this point. There is a 9-year age gap between us, with me being older. But hold on the lady. No, you miss out the part we say when you go back to Jamaica. Tailpipe whistling in your belly and it's sweet yo. What kind of woman I go just talk by phone and go to Jamaica and just put in paperwork for man so figure England? And you never check if the tailpipe work good? You never know if I'm a really man or woman? You never know if the tailpipe even a whistle at all. Come on now, man. Do better than that, man. You have to like something when you go down there. And not just spark so. And not just so spark like a lighter. Something have to well sweet you when you go down there. If you say, this here will sweet me. Me have to pack you up in a one suitcase and make sure it come to England with me. We are no idiot. So next time when you send story come give J Progress, you put all of the details them in it for me there, sir. Please and thank you very much. When my guy eventually came to England, leaving a 1-year-old in Jamaica, it was a cultural shock for him. The mature man I met was showing signs of immaturity. England does that. England, you go there all good, and next thing you know, you're mad out. England does that. We pushed through it, although it was challenging at times. There were red flags, but we pushed through, and a year later, we decided to get married at this point. I sent for two of my... Make we get another part there. You send for two of your them. Make we go in there. I sent for two of my biological brothers in Jamaica to be a part of our wedding, as well as to meet our mother again. She had 10 children, the mother, 5 in Jamaica and 5 in England, but only raised 4 boys. Okay. Now, the lady there was a busy lady. Anyway, make we move on. We had a white church wedding on a shoestring budget. And a shoestring budget, whatever that is. Who know what is a shoestring budget? Does that mean that the budget was long or the budget was short? Does it mean that we have enough money to spend or we don't have enough money to spend? Anybody who understand what a shoestring budget is, explain that to J Progress, because me don't know. Right? With me being my father's only girl, he helped pay for the wedding. Okay, me I get on now, me I understand. A few months after getting married, my uncle passed away in Jamaica and I decided to travel for his funeral. Lady, what make for your family them a dead rapid back at one another so? Me no like it. Something no right. That a too much funeral in a short space of time. But anyway, me hope nobody else no pass off in your family. I do hope. Right? My new husband was not happy that I was leaving him behind, but as we were awaiting his paperwork, he was not in a position to travel. I went and returned home. A year later, my husband talked me into bringing up his best friend from school who happened to be my nephew. Okay. We both traveled to JA for a holiday and to meet my nephew and bring him back up with us. Now all this time, my husband did not have a job. This was all financed by me. Spending all the money put us under financial pressure. We did not live on credits, so everything was money I earned and student loan. Alright. As far as my little knowledge go with this story, it is a very difficult task to bring anybody to England. But for some reason, this lady was privy to getting certain people here. By whatever the means were, I don't know. But with my little knowledge, I know it's a difficult task to bring anybody to England. Anyway, moving on. This is when the pressure and the foolishness started. I was studying to get my degree and working 5 days until 10 p.m. At the weekends, I was in my books, so my husband probably felt unloved. Stories of my husband being seen with different women driving up and down in my car started to surface. Yes, because if you don't have no time, a man did it, a man I'll ride them, and you so busy with work and everything. Remember sometime a man now, remember see how you take him a foreign, you know. Because sometime the aisle where you ride him talk to the brain, even more than wall where you do good for him. Remember good. Believe when I tell you that. Right? He denied it. Of course he would deny it. My husband asked me to help him bring up his daughter who at this point was 4 years old. A workmate of mine was going down, so we arranged for her to bring up his daughter for us. She arrived and was with us for about 9 months. I decided to send her back to her mother in Jamaica after finding a letter from her telling my husband to get his status in the UK and then divorce me and bring her up. Hold on, man. Hold on there. I am confused here. I thought you said the daughter was 4 years old. And she was with you guys for 9 months. Which would have make her roughly about 5 years old. And this daughter is writing a letter telling his father to get his status in the UK, then divorce me and bring her up. Oh, I get you. So this is the mother. That's why I'm gonna like read them long story, you know, can me get all confused, you know, people. You understand what I say? So are the mother this then? The little daughter mother want the husband to get him status, divorce the woman, and bring her up to the UK. In my mind, no way was this woman going to come up here and take my husband. The story kept coming, but he kept denying them. Boy, oh boy, you have a task for your hand, lady. One day he picked up an STD and advised to tell me as I needed to get tested. So this a boy a run road hard. He come like him a whistle tailpipe here, there and everywhere, me people. Moving on. As he told me to go to the clinic, he accused me of giving him a clap. What is a clap? Is it when you clap your two hand them or what? What is a clap? Who no tell me? Funnily enough, I tested negative. The red flags were flying. As they flew, I became angrier and angrier. We were trying for a baby as he wanted children. But each time I conceive, I would miscarry before the 12th week. There was also a time that I was pregnant and started spotting about 10 weeks into the pregnancy. I went to the hospital as I had a history of miscarriage. Okay. She have a history of miscarriage. Probably have low womb, lady. Probably your womb low. Right? And they took me to the theater following a scan as the pregnancy was not visible yet. My blood showed I was pregnant. When I came back from theater, the doctor told me that the pregnancy was there in the womb, but was small and not in my tube as suspected. But there was nothing they could do to stop the miscarriage. They sent me home and I miscarried. So that must be the thing with them called ectopic pregnancy or something like that. When the baby in a wrong tube or wrong something. My husband and I did not go out together much. He was always out with his friends. 3 years later, he tell me he does not want to be married anymore. He wants to be single like his friends. I was gutted and angry. He moved out. Although he moved out, he kept coming back every so often and we would be intimate. So are you a play the fool now, lady? Him have a hole of you. You love the tailpipe more than what you even love how him treat you. One weekend I went to a dance with my friends and I saw my husband there. He would not leave me alone, so I agreed to talk to him in the car park. While we were talking, a girl comes from nowhere screaming at him. Is this what you bring me here for? She then tries to jump me in the car park. A few weeks later, I was home with my cousin. Yeah. And this same girl knocks on my front door. I open the door and she asks for my husband. I asked her what she wanted if for, and she then asked me whether I was his sister. You can imagine, shocked, I tell her I was his wife. She then tells me that she was pregnant for my husband. I wanted to kick her down. Can you imagine how sick I felt because I was trying for a baby and this woman come from nowhere, sleep with my husband and now want to have his baby? Long story short, she miscarried. Cross is depend for your husband. Cross is depend for your husband, lady. It come like any water, I must spit out of that the tailpipe. The cross is not at the water, then nothing can come forth. A few months later, he comes and tell me another woman is pregnant for him and he wants his child. The pain I felt, I was also pregnant again, but I did not tell him. I told him I would not accept another woman's child. He then said, why could I not accept that he will have another woman? I started divorce proceeding because although I love him, I could not tolerate his behavior and I could not force a man to stay with me. But you always go back for him each time him do what him do. I did not want this woman to also be calling my husband every minute to come over to see his child, and then before you know it, there is another child. I miscarried again. Apparently, she also miscarried. No, man. Don't you walk with this man, ya man. Don't you name them a pick me anytime the man whistle them out of the tailpipe. Because every woman who breed can miscarry so. I met a man 6 months later, about October, that I did not really like that much, but he was showing me attention. I got involved only to find out that my husband knew him and he was also married. One evening, my husband came over to ask me to try to make the marriage work, and I thought I had to be honest with him in order to move forward, and I told him about this guy that I had messed around with. I did not want this man, but I wanted to be honest. My husband left that November and never returned. In January of the following year, I heard he was having a baby. Our divorce came through in April and his daughter was born in September of that same year. Lady, you got through it. This is a whole heap of mix-up and bangarang. People, the lady closed off this argument saying, I maintained to this day, this woman knew my husband was married and gave him a child because she knew that's what he wanted. Over the years, I never stopped loving him. I grew bitter. In 2005, I remarried, but it did not work out. Trauma, lady, trauma. As he felt I still love my first husband. In 2008, my first husband and I met up again and were intimate while he was still with the mother of his child. 2010, they married in Jamaica. Over the years, they had 2 more children. Lady, you're facey. Boy, oh boy, if you're kinda dark. Recently, I met up with him again, and all those old feelings have resurfaced. He say he still has those said feelings, but does not trust me. We have been intimate once more. Lady, you put all of them as something upon yourself. No wonder the man I can go on so with you. Because each time him do what him do, you go right back to falling into the trap with this man. People, give me few take from this story. Tell me we wanna see something wrong. Tell me we wanna see something right. Tell me if this a woman was making a fool of herself, or the husband just never did love her, or the husband just figure say she can't breed, or whatever the case was. But anyway, it couldn't be a case where she can't breed. Because in the first, she said she have 2 pitney already. So, me lovely subscribers and viewers, give me take on that one. Yeah. And as me say, when I get long stories like these with so much details when me can't contain in my head, this is how I am about to bring it to you guys. People, remember, 1J Progress Entertainment and no other. Believe.